Hey guys, welcome back. And it's Tuesday, so that means it's Tip Tuesday. I wanted to go over a real quick, easy travel tip that I have recently started using within, I'd say, the last year or so. Many times when I would travel, a lot of people would tell me, oh, you need to make sure you travel with a credit card. Make sure you use a credit card, use a credit card. It's so much safer and it's so much just whatever. And I resisted until recently. You know what? No, probably the last 2 years I've used it. So how do you pick which credit card? Where do you start? If you already have one, do you use the one you have? So today's tip is picking the best travel credit card if you don't have one. And if you have a credit card that you've used in the past, you may need to look it up and see if it offers you the best benefits when you travel abroad, mostly international travel. So my travel credit card that I use is a Capital One Venture One. The best thing about this is it has zero annual fee, which is great. It doesn't have a crazy APR, but the best thing is it has zero transaction fees. So what that means is when you are in, let's say you're in Europe somewhere and you're paying for lunch and you're using your card. Well, most of the time, the kiosk will ask you, do you want to switch currencies or do you want to pay in euros? So it'll say, do you want to pay X amount in euros or switch currencies? So if you have a credit card that has zero transaction fees, keep it in the currency in which you're paying. So for example, keep it in euros. If you're in Europe and your bill is 20 euros, keep it in the 20 euros because I'll tell you why. Your credit card is not going to charge you a transaction fee. So my credit card, for example, if my bill was 20 euros, I get an automatic notification on my phone every time my card is used. So if I were to use that and it was 20 euros, it'll pop up on my phone that I spent whatever the transaction is, whatever the current exchange rate is. So it might be $24 at such and such restaurant. So it automatically does the exchange and I have no fees. So if you had a credit card that didn't have that, you would pay up to or more, 3% or more of a transaction fee. So that's saving you a ton of money if you use your credit card for every purchase overseas. Another tip kind of coincide with this. If you have a transaction and you have a credit card that has, if you have a credit card, that has zero transaction fees, you always want to keep the bill in the currency where you are. You never want to exchange it. You never want to trade the currencies because if you, let's say I had the kiosk and the gentleman said, my waiter said, your bill was 20 euros. Do you want to trade it? Do you want to exchange it to American dollars? Do you want to pay in American dollars? If I would say yes, I would pay their exchange. And 9 times out of 10, their exchange is higher than if you had a credit card that had that 3% transaction fee. Their exchange is going to be higher than even that 3%. So rule of thumb is you always keep it in the currency in the country that you are. You let your credit card exchange it, or you pay the fee, or you just get a credit card that has no transaction fees. So that's the tip for Tuesday today. If you have a travel credit card, you want to look for, I'm going to say 3 main things for a travel credit card. Number 1, no annual fee, which that's just smart for any credit card. You don't want an annual fee. Number 2, if you can get a credit card that you can earn miles, so you can transfer those miles to flight dollars or just dollars or whatever, you want to earn miles. And number 3, you want zero transaction fees, because when you are paying for something abroad, overseas, and even in Canada, if you have an exchange in Canada or Mexico or wherever, anywhere that you're paying for something that is not in U.S. currency, you want to have a zero transaction fee. You don't want to pay that exchange fee on your credit card. The credit card will eat that up, they will exchange it, and you will pay the amount in dollars. It is so handy and so wonderful when you're traveling to not have to think about that. Personally, I like to get a local currency. I like to get, I've got euros, I've got pounds, I've got other currencies from Canadian dollars from other places I've been. I like to have it for small items, maybe a knick-knack here, a keychain, a tip. but most of the time I use my credit card for bigger purchases. If I'm buying train tickets, if I'm booking a tour, or buying something bigger, a package or something when I'm over there, or if I'm booking online and the purchase is in pounds or dollars or pounds or euros or whatever, I will use my credit card, because even in that instance, I won't have a transaction fee. So keep in mind all of those little fees that you may not think about when you're booking travel or when you're planning a trip. They add up, and they add up quickly. So I hope that you can use this tip for today. And as always, I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing all my videos. Drop a comment if you have a question, if you have a tip that you want to suggest. I would love viewer suggestions for Tuesdays, because like I said before, we're going to try and do a Tip Tuesday every week. So like and subscribe the channel if you haven't already, and we will see you soon. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you later.